Mitch, let's cut back to you as you enter into Teletran 2. You notice a couple things right away. One, the place has been gutted. Two, as you look around, you realize that there is a thin layer of dust over everything. And the third thing that you notice is the whiteboard. And circled in your own handwriting, it says, "Got here first."
Okay, do you know why I couldn't get back here? I've been trying to get here, and I couldn't get here.
The veil. The veil keeps everything out unless, I don't know how they've gotten in, but...
Is there a spot where the veil's thin?
She jabs her finger at Arkaville. He's poked holes in it somehow.
Okay, that's what I need. He's the good one. He's from a different place. He's a good one, and he made a thing like the portal, but only one way. And we don't have Ben.
Oh no! This is Alpha Trion calling the Autobots. Come in, Autobots. Autobot City is taking a pounding. Don't know how much longer we can hold out. Don't tell me where you are. Just keep this frequency open, and if you can, let us know you're okay.
Mitch reaches in and pulls out his walkie.
In case
Mitch,
it got
yours would
exchanged.
say Luthor.
Shit. That's not mine.
He's not asking for help. He just wants to know if we're okay.
That's not mine.
It would make sense that the other you would have made it though. So yeah.
But then that means he has mine.
Exactly.
So
then
he's
this
hearing
is not safe to use.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same page, but I don't know when he got it or how long he's had it.
When you say that, and as Rob's beginning to say something, you hear all of your walkies crackle. And Mitch, you hear yourself say, "This is Wheeljack. We're here. We made it. Where are you guys? We need to meet up." "Oh, I'm so glad to hear from you guys. It's Alpha Trion. You know where to find us. We're where you found me before." "Are you in the alley?" "Yeah, right off the alley." "I'll be there in a second."
He just screams out the window, "Jimmy!"
The chittering stops inside. Yeah. And all you can hear is the approach of the finely tuned battle wagon.
She's gonna pull her lighter out of her pocket and just put it towards the door to see if anything happens.
When you look in, you see that the entirety of this beauty salon is filled with at least a foot of rolling insects. And sitting in a chair, absent of any of these, is a Michitaki and what appears to be a tape recorder.
Jerry is going to pull out the crystal in one pocket and a roll of pennies from the other pocket. And two fists meet in the middle, try to channel some electricity into this room to be a bug zapper again.
You can feel the power kind of surging up and you're getting ready to direct it. And that's when you are taken out of this situation, when you hear, "Jerry, kill me." And you stop. Shannon, you see the power not manifest.
Jerry?
And Shannon, you hear, "Kill me. Kill me." The back doors open up and you see one long silver metallic leg lance out and set down on the asphalt. Another one sets down on the asphalt. And the creature that you experienced back in Dr. Arkaville's little world pulls itself up to its 9-10 feet height as that one visored eye begins to glow purple.
"Shannon! Get back in the truck! Jerry! Giant robot! In the truck! Now!"
When you yell that, the creature with the eye stops and the light gets into a pinpoint and you hear, "Shannon, Shannon, Shannon, Shannon," until your voice is calling from inside the robot. "Shannon, Shannon."
And Klaatu Barada Nikto! Klaatu Barada Nikto!
When you yell that out, this creature sort of elevates for a moment, stands even taller than it had before. But it isn't until George's voice is mixed with this chorus that it almost cocks its head as if it's wondering what it's hearing. And then it straightens and the eye turns from purple to white and it says, "Command."
Oh shit! I didn't think that far. Defensive protocol on SUV.
It probably speaks in robot, right? Like computer programming.
But
What?
But
talk robot to it.
why are you making? Okay,
No, that's his name. His name is Butts. He's a robot. Butts, tell it to defensive protocol on the SUV.
Hey, dude, protect this vehicle.
You just literally had to say the same thing I said.
the creature cocks its head. You see jets shoot out of its palms. It lifts up off the ground and floats beside the SUV.
Do
Through
your
the front
best.
windshield, you see the Maplehurst Mall sign as you turn to go towards the mall. It is also at that moment that you see what appears to be a large bipedal robot with two drums of what look to be Vulcan cannons on either side of it. It turns to open fire on your SUV, but is intercepted by the robot that is flying beside you. And as this crash of metallic titans sounds off to the right, you have a straight shot to the Maplehurst Mall. Well, with the exception of fire and debris and abandoned cars and roving mobs of gremlins. But other than that, straight shot. As you and the SUV kind of spins on the glass a little bit and across the tile as you drift it into the Maplehurst Mall. Van Halen looks around. We got to get him to the roof. So as you all kind of climb up onto the roof, Van Halen indicates a specific spot, and she tells each of you where to put the kids that are in your care. And you see her whisper words, you can't hear them. And the kids who are sleeping all stand on their own accord, and they reach out in this kind of sleepwalking slumber and grab each other's hands, and their eyes slowly begin to open. Dr. Arkaville, who has some type of device in his hands, he looks down at it and he looks over at Mitch. I can get your friend. I think I can get your friend. The energy's starting to go away.
Let's get Ben.
Yeah, let them do wizard shit. We gotta do this.
Yes.
Guys!
What can we do?
You all gather as this other group awakens. They begin to speak, and you can't hear what they're saying, but Dr. Arkaville, as he's looking at this device, it's going away. It's gone.
What?
And you hear a roar from the sky. And as you all look, the veil between this world and all of the others falls. And for this brief moment, there are two possibilities. One, Ben McKenzie is open to you. And two, nothing is impossible in Garrett. Not now.
Minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Atari Twilight. This is a lot. There's a lot of faces here. There's a lot of people. A lot of flesh tone happening here. A lot of purple. We're here. This is the episode Voltron Force. If you haven't guessed, we don't have a live audience on air. We are doing a crossover between the Keystones and the Autobots, and it is everything and nothing that you hoped for. So, you already saw the recap in there, so I'll remind you, if you guys want to support this channel, the best way to do that is on our Patreon down below. Link is down there. While you're down there, click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, not on this screen, but on other screens, I promise, is the corruption bar, or in this case, the Michigan bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg probably murders one of the characters and maybe a player. And two, every single dollar that goes back into that bar goes to some of the faces you see here before you. That's a complicated pitch. It's already almost full, so I will let you guys do with that what you will. I have nothing else to say. Bring it in. Greg, take us back to the 80s that never was.
So without further ado, my friends, Atari Twilight is a story about the 80s, played using Free League's Tales from the Loop system. It is a story about a group of kids tasked with saving the world entire. Standing against them, a collection of villains from the far corners of movies, TV, comic books, and novels. The battleground, their hometown of Garrett, Maryland. A sleepy mountain town, utterly unremarkable save for the ominous addition of the Loop, a particle accelerator whose reckless science has breached the veil between Garrett and its limitless parallel dimensions. The veil protected Garrett from the forces of evil for an age, but now it has fallen, dropped by the very defenders of the Mountain Maryland town. Why? The enemy had already found a way in. The veil had to be dropped and the door opened if their allies were to have any chance of joining in the fray. But to win, they must be united and they must be whole. Ben Mackenzie, their friend, lies lost in the rows of mirror universes. Together, they must find a way to bring him home. The date, Sunday, December 31st, 1989. Time is running out. The greatest decade, the 1980s, draws to a close, and if allowed to end, so too ends all the worlds. Evil has come to Garrett. Can our heroes band together to stop the end of it all? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Our kids are the pieces to this cosmic game. Rob Ott, the wild card. Shannon Locke, the knight. George Butts, the question. Jerry Baker, the hero. Casey Mitch Mitchell, the key. Joining them are the defenders of Garrett, the Keystones. Scarlett Baker, the gunslinger. Jesse J.D. Davis, the invisible. Ricky Lewis, the archer. Heather Jones, the dream. In this, the last year of the greatest decade here in 1989, all will be decided for good or ill, the end of an age, and this tale is upon us. 4 years, over 160 songs, ultimately 40 episodes in the making comes down to this. Now we return to Garrett Prime in the Highlands of Maryland. Welcome, one and all, to the end of an age. Welcome, heroes, to the beginning of the battle of the 80s. Welcome, my friends, to Atari Twilight Rollout, Episode 10, Voltron Force. My friends, all of you, your luck is refreshed. My Keystones, your luck and your pride is refreshed. Now, someone must roll leadership. This person cannot be Jerry. This person can be a Keystone, but whoever it is, they will not be allowed to roll in their next appearance. So my friends, collected as you were, among your group, now swelled in size by twice, who will roll leadership for us? I think I said Scarlett Baker. It's Scarlett Blake, everybody.
I didn't know Jerry had a sister.
Right.
I'll
feel
roll if anyone wants.
Go for it.
All right. Let's go. Come on, roll 20. Ooh, damn it.
So I will tell you in this episode that you may gather a success from using your pride, you may use your luck, or you may push this leadership role, or you may do nothing. It's totally up to you.
I will use my pride. So I feel like my pride is gonna apply for this whole encounter with the two groups.
All right, Scarlett, then with your pride being spent, you receive a success, which means you get 2 dice that you may give to anybody else in the Atari Twilight family except yourself. My friends, with that being said, we pull down onto the top of the Maplehurst Mall in Garrett, Maryland. There we see a collection of heroes, a collection of kids that are all holding hands. These are our Keystones. And as the Keystones stand there, they are finishing a spell. The words of the spell ring among their group as they chant them in unison. Sweet song of youth, the wise, the meeting of all wisdom. And as the last syllable rings out, Van Halen, a member of their band, looks to them all, and she looks at Ricky. Ricky, you feel something across your back, something thin presses against your chest, and you hear Van Halen say, "The bow of Loxley, it's working." The rest of you see a bow seems to be strung over Ricky's shoulder. The rest of you, knowing full well the items that you were gifted in the battle of the paperback exchange, do not find them present. But as the camera turns its gaze and as you all look at Van Halen's exclamation at Ricky and the newly arrived bow of Loxley, Robin Hood's famed bow, you notice a couple things are different about your friend. A year has passed since you really had a moment to look at him. Chris, what does Ricky look like? How has he changed?
Ricky's always been quite a strong and relatively athletic kid. He works on a farm, so he was quite a strong kid. But he is bigger now. Ricky has now short hair from military academy. He is definitely bigger than he was before in muscular size.
And you see this as the farm boy has grown. And as he is standing there with the bow slung over his shoulder, the mechanical owl bubo swings down from the skies through the swirling snow to rest on his shoulder. And for a moment, whether you are a fan of novels or not, there is a mythic quality to him. But as soon as that happens, this frozen moment of growth, Van Halen's face falls. Something's wrong. And with that, our camera moves, and as the entire group is now circled inside the roof of this globe of snow on top of the Maplehurst Mall, Dr. Arkaville raises his device that he has. This looks very similar to Egon Spengler's ectometer. It's gone. Wait. The big interference of the veil is gone, but there's something else. It's still jamming us. I might be able to punch through it with the slide, but it's going to take time. And from the group next to you, releasing the hands of those to her right and left, Van Halen says, "We must all be together. They need Benjamin, and we need the other heroes now. We are running out of time. If the age ends, the worlds will be broken forever. Evil will win." Dr. Arkaville looks at you, Mitch. "I need help setting up the slide. Once I start, I won't be able to move. I'll need defenders, someone to fight them off. If they find us, someone to fight them off while I finish."
Where do you need me?
Apart. With that, Mitch, where do you need me? Van Halen looks at the two groups. She knows all of them with the exception of Shannon. "I'll take a group to destroy the interference. We have to be quiet and quick. Once it's down, you'll be able to get Ben, and the army of happily ever after can begin its charge." Van Halen looks. "I'll take Shannon, Heather, JD, and Rob with me to find the jammer." Arkaville still looks at you, Mitch. "You need to take Mitch too. Sorry, my boy, but if you're the younger other Mitch, you'll know where we go to set up the slide. You might be able to stop us."
Classic time paradox. Okay.
Mitch, what do you do?
He says that, and then he looks at the rest of his friends, that being Jerry and George, and just like looks between the two of them and says, "Just get him back."
Mitch, I need you to roll force.
Christ. Just a straight force, Greg?
Please.
3 successes. How you doing?
With 3 successes, precisely what you needed, you are able to avoid vomiting as your stomach wrenches and you feel nausea rip your head as you feel like you're on a roller coaster standing still. With that moment, with that incredible vertigo that you feel, everybody that is in possession of a Michitake, which would include, of course, JD, they all crackle to life. And Mitch, you hear your own voice. "What the fuck did you just change?"
He grabs his own walkie-talkie, which I think is still in his hand, and just sort of, like, not screams into it, but definitely raises his voice and just says, "Everything!" And then clicks it back to his belt.
The rest of you would hear, "Just stay out of the fucking way." And the line goes dead. My friends, you are on the roof of the Maplehurst Mall, and for a moment you are all still together. I need you to get from the top of the Maplehurst Mall down to the parking lot, or more appropriately, down to the entrance where an SUV has smashed through the glass in classic A-Team fashion. What would you like to do? How would you like to do it? Are you going to be quick? Are you going to be quiet? You're all together. You're all looking at one another. For a moment, it seems that Van Halen and Arkaville have nothing else to say. This is Greg giving you your cue that the NPCs are out of the equation. Your path has been set, but though on rails, this narration does not stop you from conversing. And so as the door leading to the Maplehurst Mall or down into it is open, what are all of you thinking?
JD would look to Mitch and be like, who was that? Because that sounded a lot like you.
Yeah, it was me. We don't really have time for that right now. I'm a secret bad guy from the future. It's a whole thing, man. Did you see that dragon? We gotta...
We don't know that you're from the future.
Okay.
Shannon says nothing and walks towards the stairway.
And Keystones, you would recognize everyone here with the exception of Ben McKenzie as being the pictures that you carry around with you, or probably are still in JD's journal, of the ones that you found in the library under the purview of Hannah Casper. All of them have been missing for a long period of time.
Are you guys okay?
Oh man, we have less time for that one.
We've been looking kind of for you.
Yeah.
Optimus told us, and he looks towards Rob, that we needed to find Rob, his boy, and help him. So what do we have to do?
That's me.
We haven't seen him in a year, so I don't know where he is, but we could really use his help. And he looks up at the dragon in the sky.
Yeah. He kind of shows up when he wants. Try not to think about it.
He broke my silo.
Yeah, he was really hurt, and we think we helped him. We stole some energon for him, so we think he's okay, but we don't know where he is.
He'll be fine.
You would all have seen Shannon kind of jet down the stairs. Would anybody from the Autobots or the Keystones try to keep up, or is she allowed to run point guard alone?
Greg, is there still a robot fighting a robot downstairs?
Well, that's outside. You hear various sounds of destruction.
The front door.
Yeah, you hear various sounds of destruction and explosions. Of course, there's fire. This is a hellscape, but if you try to isolate that sound, you don't hear robot combat at present.
Great. Yeah, I think Mitch will look around and see that Shannon's not here, and then just sort of look to Rob, because that's who he knows. Like, she left again. We gotta go. And starts headed for the door.
As we're walking, I don't know what you guys know, but the robots sometimes look like people. I was attacked by something in the library, so.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch for the eye thing.
Well, he called me you. He called me Mitch.
I don't even know who you are.
Oh, hey,
Like,
important to note, he's a robot. Jerry points to George. He's cool.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
He is a robot.
Yeah.
He's a transformer. It's okay. He's not a bad one. It's fine.
Yeah, and he doesn't really like transform or anything. It's still cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Shannon's a vampire.
True, we've seen it.
That's really it.
We've seen it.
And with Shannon's a vampire, our camera spins down and follows Meta as her character Shannon descends the steps. Everybody, if you go to your Spotify playlist, please go down to track number 6 by a little band called A Flock of Seagulls. I Ran So Far Away. Shannon, as you run down the steps, I'm assuming you said you're moving at a pretty clipped pace. You were able to get downstairs. A couple things I'm going to give you for free without the need for an investigate roll. The SUV that had slid into the area that was your transportation through Garrett remains. There are not weapons of mass destruction or robots fighting just outside the entrance newly made of the Maplehurst Mall. However, the battle wagon sits there. It is empty.
Ooh, not good, not good. She grabs her walkie. Hey, asshole. And she cues it up. Waits for a response.
She's definitely talking to you, dude.
There's a scene of
She's
all
just
the
waiting to
guys
see
with-
which Mitch responds, hopefully.
Go for Wheeljack.
Oh, it's just you. Your arch nemesis is probably somewhere here, or whoever was driving the van.
What do you want, Shannon? You hear a clip come through in Mitch's voice.
Well, first and foremost, I would love to know what it is that you want, because I've been trying to figure it out for quite a while now, and I just don't get it.
I want this conversation to last forever. Tick tock, tick tock.
Shannon doesn't respond and checks to see if the keys are in the battle wagon.
They are.
Is there anybody lurking in the back?
Roll me an investigate.
Okay. Come on. Did it roll? Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. 3 successes. Hey.
It did. I will let you
I'm-
bank, Meta, you can bank 2 of those for a future investigate roll. So make
Great.
sure you remind me of those if you need to roll and investigate. The battle wagon is empty. And it's completely empty. You notice that while it has a driver and passenger kind of command chair, it has nothing in the back. Whether or not you and Mitch had, I'm assuming the bench seats used to be back there. Nothing is back there anymore. It is a completely open, almost like a cargo van. You would also notice that while the keys dangle from the ignition, they bear a keychain that you have never attached to the keys of your battle wagon. This one is an Autobot symbol.
Interesting. Huh. Okay, she's gonna turn the ignition on, make sure that it starts up. No problems.
The throaty, healthy battle wagon.
Okay.
And you would all be getting downstairs just as you would see Shannon behind the wheel of the battle wagon as he kind of comes to life.
And she sticks her head out the window. You guys gonna get in? We got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, apparently.
Shotgun.
According to your nemesis, by the way, Mitch.
You can't call shotgun. It's I built. No, you.
The rules are you see it and you call it.
I
right?
made
That's-
it.
What?
Don't have time for this.
But you've been in it.
He's right.
Get back on the roof.
My name is as they're walking there, she's like, by the way, I'm Scarlet.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh yeah.
And that's JD. And she points to, and then
Hey.
that's Ricky, and this is Heather.
Oh, cool. Wheeljack, Grimlock, Jazz, Beatbox, Ironside.
Oh, we're using made up names now. Okay.
Hide.
Yeah, well, people try to kill us, so.
Okay, what is this? Like a conference? Can we all do something more productive?
Start the
Yeah,
engine.
You can leave.
The engine is started. All right,
I'm fine.
Let's just get in the van.
Mitch climbs in the back of the van.
She's pretty
Shotgun.
bossy.
She's so bossy.
Where are we going? And she'll take Heather's hand.
Mitch is in the back of the van. JD has shotgun. So the only people that are in, Van Halen jumps into the van as well, which means the only other members that need to get in would be Heather and would be Rob, as this will become team cleaner. Excuse me, team cleaner.
Wait, we're supposed to stick together.
Heather, I think we got to split up on this one.
Van Halen takes your hand, Heather. I'll be with you.
And Scarlet gives Heather a big hug. You can do it.
Ricky walks up, takes Heather's hand, and says, "Although we're apart, there's at least still some of us together. This lot will look after you as well. If they don't,
She
you gotta
eyes
call
them.
in. You have to call the others in."
Yeah, you gotta. Your friends gotta come, right? Only you can do that.
Yeah. He'll be here. He knows when I need him most.
All right.
I mean, you guys, you're probably safe. We've been trying to get killed in the multiverse, so like, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Statistically, you'll be all right.
Heather nods and crawls in the back.
It's probably safer with them than it's going to be with us.
It's like
She
they say,
elbows Ricky in the ribs.
Careful and don't get yourself killed, Scarlet. All right.
I won't.
I just want to point out one thing for you guys while you're defending the base camp, I guess, here, or whatever you're going to call it. Just be aware that somebody else drove this here. So whether or not they're there to help, just be aware of your surroundings. That's all the advice I can give you at this point.
Yeah, we have eyes. Thanks, Shannon.
That's how cars get places. People drive them.
Congratulations, Scarlet.
Arkaville moves over stiffly to the driver's side and looks at Shannon and moves his liver spotted hand inside and calls Mitch forward to the window.
Yeah.
He hands you his device, the ectometer looking thing. It will tell you where it is, where the source is coming from. You'll have to look for it. It's kind of like a metal detector.
Is there multiple sources or just one?
Should only be one. It got stronger when we came outside. It looks like it's up, and he kind of points vaguely to the east.
Greg, is that the direction of the tower?
No, the tower that you're thinking of,
north,
would be to the north. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we supposed to destroy it? Turn it off? What do we?
Turn it off. It's whatever it is. It's fake, but it's keeping Garrett isolated. I can't. It's going to be hard to punch through and get your friend, but I'm going to try. And he reaches forward, and you see that he has fashioned 3 loops of wire, roughly ring-sized. And his hand's shaking a little bit, and he hands one to both Shannon and Mitch. And you can see that it's electrical wire, and it's white, like white cased wire.
What do we do with this?
I thought that, and he kind of looks around and he sees JD that's off on the passenger side, and tries to be not conspiratorial, but tries to be quiet because he didn't get a gift for JD, and says, I thought that we could have a group. We're the only good ones.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's super rad. And he goes to give him a high five, over Shannon. Has to cross in front of her.
Yeah, it's an awful high five that you're pretty sure probably shatters his shoulder, but he accepts it. Be careful.
Cool. You too.
All right. And he turns around and shuffles off as he moves towards the SUV. And as he moves towards the SUV, our camera changes to encompass just those that are still in as the battle wagon roars off to points unknown. Jerry, George, Scarlet, Ricky, and Dr. Arkaville remain in front of the SUV. All the power in this place seems to be running through the bad me, but it's probably being used to power that jammer. We need to find a source that's independent. Does anybody have any ideas?
It all started at the tree lighting. Ricky looks to Scarlet.
Yeah. And she's been eyeballing Arkaville this whole time.
We need something that's not tied into the grid, something separate, something that's got its own power.
Perfect. The loop.
The trailer? There was a trailer that had underground tunnels.
Yeah, it's an Alta place.
Nope, not Alta. If it's Alta, it's his, mine, the bad me. George, I need you to roll a contact or a comprehend.
Good, because
I just think I think Butts is the smart one here now.
He is not, and he also has bad rolls, so that's a 0.
I will let you know that you may push this roll. You may use luck. You may use your pride.
I will. No, I'll use luck. Pride for me doesn't make sense right now. So luck lets me what, re-roll.
Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah.
Right. I should probably know these rules by now.
Ooh.
4 successes.
So an excellent use of luck.
Wow.
You do. You do know a guy. The guy's name is Eugene. You remember hearing in your travels that Eugene wired his home in Garrett Prime, presumably to keep you and your mom powered up. That's why you never had to recharge. You never saw your battery come offline or that light to blink in the bottom right-hand corner of your vision. Knowing Eugene, the real Eugene, your dad before he was possessed, it would have been separate from the grid.
Man, I was gonna say the Butts estate anyway, because so, guys, Dr. A, I think we have to go to my house. Mitch knows about it, but I don't know if Bad Mitch knows that I got, that's where I plug in into a battery there. That's where I recharge.
He looks confused for a second. No, okay. You're Eugene's boy, right?
Yeah.
I trust Eugene.
Wait, you're literally a robot?
Yeah.
I weren't joking.
She pokes him in the arm.
It's fleshy.
Whoa.
Feels warm.
Whoa.
Yeah. I have that.
That's what I said.
She looks at Ricky. I think he's in charge.
Who?
The robot guy.
Oh, not at all, man. No.
Ricky looks at him close in the eyes. They said to look at your eyes. What is the thing with the robot eyes?
Greg.
Yeah.
Can I modify my body at will? Can I make my eyes just flash red to screw with this guy, or do I have that?
Why don't you roll a force for me?
All right. 2 successes.
Yeah, this is how much red do you want? Just the pupils or the whole shebang?
Like a Cylon thing. I want it to go back and forth.
It does. You see the
Scarlet punches him in the face.
It hurts your hand.
Yeah.
No condition, but if you do it again, you probably will get one. And this is a punch that doesn't give. George's face might move a little bit. George, whenever you take that punch, you're reminded of the 4% that is blinking in the bottom right-hand corner. A reminder of even your mortality.
Yeah. So
and then she backs up and stands next to Ricky. Are you serious? And she looks at Jerry.
He's a good one.
Yeah.
But red eyes. It's exactly what
I didn't say he wasn't a dick.
Ben told me to watch out for the ones with the red eyes.
Jerry, I need you to roll I need you to roll empathize, please.
That's gonna turn out way better. No.
I'll say you can use your luck, pride, or you can push for a condition if you so desire.
Yeah, you know what?
You don't have to.
I will throw a luck at it. You never.
Okay.
No.
There's something nagging in the back of your mind, but there's so much shit going on. It's just for another day as you put a pin in it.
Yeah, that's Jerry's life.
Yeah.
Ben told us to watch out for the ones with the red eyes. And then him, and she points at Arkaville.
I'm not me. I'm a different one.
That tracks.
He did
holds
this.
Up his hand with a wire ring around it. I'm a good one.
Yeah, that's what all the bad ones say.
Okay. Wait. I got
He
a plan.
took our memories. He took our memories. We don't remember what happened for the past year.
You see a tear roll out of his eye. It wasn't me.
Yes, let's lay off the old man now. We gotta get going, guys. I get
He's
it.
the only one I trust.
Okay, wait. Who would win in a fight, Batman or Joker?
Well, it's supposed to be the Batman, but that's only
Yeah,
because of the movies.
He's the good guy.
That's what I would say too.
Who can fight
I
with
don't-
that logic?
Is that what that was? Okay. Well, I trust Ben.
What do you
Can-
even
can
know
we-
Let's
Ben
go.
is? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's go. We can argue on the way. We can build team on the way.
Someone has to
Done.
drive. I never learned it. Well, I did, but they took my license from me 4 years ago.
Jerry, you've stolen cars before. You can't drive.
Wait, are we back on this again?
Ricky
I-
can drive. He
I-
drives
I
the
can drive.
tractor.
Shotgun.
Driven at school.
So you all climb into the SUV, Ricky driving, Jerry claiming shotgun, and obviously the other two with Arkaville climbing in the back. Arkaville would make it a point not to sit beside Scarlet if she didn't want him to.
Oh, she won't care.
Then as soon as the SUV turns over, with just enough of the engine kind of clouding it, he wouldn't like lean over or whisper. He'd whisper kind of still facing forward, and he would say, "So sorry."
Guess it's not your fault. It's not you. It's not your fault. I'm not mad at you. Just
I'll make it up to you. I'm gonna get Ben back. It's what we're doing.
yeah.
Is he your friend?
Kinda. Yeah. He warned me about the red eye guys before all this ever happened. I didn't even know him at the time, but he warned me.
Sounds like a friend.
Yeah, I think he's my friend. That's why I want to help him.
And with that, the SUV begins to move out into Garrett, and we stay with it as we travel through Garrett. Everybody, if you go to your Spotify playlist, go down to the, near the bottom, track number 19 on this big old playlist. The Rescues, It's the End of the World. As you drive through Garrett, this is the first time that the Keystones have actually seen it because of your state before. It's a war zone. You see shops burning, houses burning, these little green creatures that Ricky would immediately recognize as Scarlet would as well, bounding in herds of 2 and 3 dozen. You would see other deeper shadows and movements within them. The town of your youth, the town that you have defended, is losing a war. Within about 5 minutes, the SUV pulls up in front of a house with a overgrown yet still oddly shaped bush. It is the house of George Butts and appears empty. What do you do?
This place is
Tome,
just a house.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so he's a rich robot. Like they can afford really good power.
Yeah.
We have to set everything up, and Arkaville begins to pull the pieces of the slide that are folded up in the back of the SUV. I'm going to need some, and he looks at Jerry. Come on, help him.
Well, what
yeah.
can we do?
Yeah, you take this, and he looks over at George. Georgia, where do we set up?
I'd say let's set up in the backyard. It's right out
Okay.
in my mom's office opens back there, so that's a good place.
Show us the way.
I open the door.
The house is open. When you pass through the one level through about where the kitchen and living room would be, you can see it before you get there because the back wall's all glass. There's no grass in your backyard. It seems to have been dug up. As you look down the hallway, you see the room to your father's office open.
I'll walk down the hall. I'll point to the guys, start setting up through there, through the double doors, and point towards the back of the house.
As our camera follows us down the hall with George, as you get to where your father's office is, the light from the outside kind of filtering in, though light inside is helping reveal more of this scene, but enough is revealed. You see two things. You see that there is a door that has been revealed behind your father's desk. A button depressed inside of his desk opened this door. It's big enough to walk through. Unfortunately, the figure inside the threshold is not walking. It is your mom. She is still, and she is gray. And as our camera pulls back from the Butts estate, we zip through the air until we arrive in the battle wagon as we see Mitch, Rob, Shannon, Heather, JD, and Van Halen. You need to find the source of the interference, my friends. As you begin to use this device, I need a couple rolls from everybody. JD, roll me a comprehend, and I'll take a calculate roll from Mitch, if you would.
One success on the old calculate.
I'll go ahead and use my luck.
Oh, you know what? Do so at a +2. I'm sorry. So if you want to roll 2d6, Bacon, we'll be able to kind of compensate for that first roll if we want to.
An extra 2d6? Okay.
Please.
Nope.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you'd still need to push or use your luck.
I'll use the luck. One success. Do you want me to roll the extra 2 again?
You can, if you'd like. I will always allow you to bank successes above and beyond what you would need. One's all you need, though.
One's
okay.
all I got.
You immediately begin to realize that the beeping that is coming off of the device as it is swept back and forth is Morse code. You recognize it immediately. You've been studying it for the better part of a year now. And as it goes back and forth, you realize that it is giving a location. One of the locations that you have studied that's in your journal. As you're working with the calculate, let's see, you did get a success, didn't you, Mitch?
Yes.
The device seems to be keyed in on an area of town to the north and to the east. You know that you are going into a neighborhood that would eventually end as the fields and everything would extend north in that direction to eventually Castle Grayskull. As you're moving, you're also in the neighborhood of Shannon's house. But as you are moving close, Shannon, you are driving. As it's being indicated between the two of you, you have a rough idea of where this is. If you're going to begin to kind of scour the area, how do you want to do it? How do you want to approach this? Are you doing it on foot? Are you staying in the battle wagon? My friends, you have it narrowed down between Mitch and JD. You have it narrowed down to about 2 blocks. Mitch, you're pretty sure or JD, you're pretty sure exactly where it is, but there's nothing there that you know of.
Does anyone know where this is?
I think I know. It's Morse code. Greg, where is what I think it was the construction site?
It's exactly what you think it is.
Okay. It's this Alta construction site.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. The one that Greg, is this in the same area as before with the construction site?
Shannon, because you were in the neighborhood, you would know that whenever you all disappeared in October, they were clearing a lot, but no construction had begun.
Okay.
It did, however, say, because this is your neighborhood, it did say future site of the Alta Boys Club.
Okay, then I think I know where that is too.
There was a trailer when we went to check it out the first time, and it goes underground. And we found an Energon cube, which is what we tried to power Optimus with, but things happened faster than we wanted them to.
What else did you find down there?
I believe there was a catwalk, and it was headed in the general direction of Castle Grayskull.
Park the battle wagon in a position to see your home.
Could I actually just roll heart here to see what
100%. Yep.
Because I don't know. She's gonna go towards the house.
Okay. So you all would park, and as you would get out, are you walking for speed or stealth here? Speed obviously gets you there quicker. Stealth gets you there quieter.
Yeah. She knows Mitch isn't very stealthy, so I think it's just standard pace. Yeah.
So
quicker
as you
than
are all
yeah.
moving, Heather, JD, Rob, as Mitch and Shannon would kind of move off, JD kind of directing as well towards the front, it would be Heather and Rob that are kind of dragging back a little bit with Van Halen. What do you do? Van Halen staying very close to you, Heather.
Is this the last place you guys saw Optimus?
We're not at the farm, right? We're at
No, you're at the you're a couple blocks from the construction site.
no, Optimus wasn't here. He was at the farm. How does that work? Are you a robot too?
I'm not necessarily a robot physically, but spiritually, we have a lot of the same traits.
Did he like your dad?
Kinda. I'd like to think so. We've never expressed it out loud, but it's a feeling, you know.
He was really upset.
I have issues with abandonment, and sometimes when he disappears, I always know he's coming back. So it's always good. So I just kind of wait until I really need him.
Heather kind of smiles at you and says, "I have those issues too."
Nice. I mean, not nice, but
I saw you at the paperback exchange.
That's like my favorite place.
Library's better though. Books are free.
Yeah, but not as cool. What are we here looking for? A lot of times I just kind of follow.
I don't know. JD knows.
Yeah. Okay, let's just follow them and try to be useful.
I do.
And as the caboose follows the locomotive, Shannon, as you round the corner, you have the first vision of your house, and just beyond it, you can see the fencing of the construction site. There's spray paint all over your house. It says, "Where is she? Let us in. Invite us." And it's repeated over and over, all over the siding of the house and the brick around the base.
Yeah, I think Shannon kind of remembers the last time she was in this house. She left behind Kismet and Dutch and Nee. And I think she has like a moment. If everybody behind her will notice her stride slows a little bit. And if anybody's really paying attention, her fists clench as she's walking by the house, but she kind of refocuses her attention forward, kind of checks the sides of the road to see if anybody is like out there waiting, I guess, if somebody comes by.
Free of charge. You can hear the struggle of life down in Garrett proper, but here it's eerily calm. Almost deserted.
Hey, so maybe you're not like a vampire now, but like if you were gonna hang out with your old friends and not Team Cool Kid, you would have become a vampire.
Wait, she's not a vampire now.
I don't know.
What? You said I
Joey,
was a
no.
vampire? Are you serious right now?
Oh yeah, you left the roof, so I just said you were a vampire.
Typical.
But that's vampire stuff. Like, let's, you know.
He has a point.
Oh, speaking of vampires, hey, I didn't get your name. I didn't get either of your names.
JD and that's
Heather.
Heather.
You didn't listen to the angry girl? Because she was
No.
really angry.
No.
Just
I
comments about
learned to
eyes.
tune your frequency out, and she has the same one.
Oh,
Can either of you fight?
Well, okay.
I'm sorry that I've kept you alive all this much. Please continue to tune out my frequency.
Well, sometimes you try to kill me.
I think JD's in the middle doing this.
Anyway,
Oh.
can either of you fight? Are you, can you, yeah?
I mean, when I'm on the football team, I'm somewhat athletic.
That's helpful.
Great.
Actually.
Awesome.
Heather's really good with books and puzzles, and she seems to have a knack for talking with things that were behind the veil. So
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys don't have to explain the whole whatever that is, because that's.
I don't know. It's kind of like there's a force field, and we couldn't bring anything that was good in, but the bad guys figured out a way to get the bad guys in, and that's
Yeah,
what
that's
we were
what I
trying
was
to do.
bouncing off of.
Drop the
I'm
veil.
just really confused how you guys know more than we do, and we've been all over the multiverse apparently. So
I think we
Well,
just
we've
know
been here. We've been here, and where have you been?
everywhere except for here, apparently.
I think we know a lot about a small portion of this, where you guys know the other stuff. That's all we really know about is the veil.
Okay.
Okay. With our powers combined, right?
Well, we don't have any
Exactly.
powers.
Metaphorically.
Well, that's not necessarily true for everybody.
Van Halen
Okay.
walks in the middle of all of you and says, "You are all the defenders of Garrett. You're all that we have."
Okay.
She walks past in the direction that you were going.
So, all right. Here's the bad news, guys. We're all alone here. Shannon usually is a killing machine. Rob, I had a shotgun once. That was really cool.
Moral support. Very good
moral support.
I'm here.
Hugs. He gives hugs. Heather, I don't recommend you talk to the vampires. And JD, do whatever. Her old friends are vampires, and I'm the last Mitch in the multiverse, except for the evil one. Long story. Most people try to kill me, and now they're all probably going to come here and try to kill me, which means you're all in danger. Okay. And then he hits the device to try to see where it's coming from.
It looks like it's coming from, now that you're close, and JD, you would realize this, that the location that you got initially you believed to be the construction site, but it's actually the vacant lot right beside the construction site. It's still wooded. It's still, it's cleared, but it still has enough trees to kind of keep it from view from the road. But, much like Egon would, whenever you kind of hold up this wand, the sides come out as you hold it right at the lot beside Shannon's house, between where the construction site is.
Okay, we gotta go this way.
Yeah, I think so. Greg, do I still have my backpack?
Yep, you absolutely do.
I'm gonna take up my backpack and I'm gonna pull out a marker, a red marker.
Sure.
And Mitch, come here. Before we go,
yeah,
I'm gonna just flip over his right hand on his wrist. I'm gonna mark him with a red marker. Be like, that. Now I know it's you.
It's me. What?
Well, just in case I run into the evil one. No
Oh my
red
God, we
marker.
needed one of him this whole time.
Oh, he's
what?
he's like a man.
Way older.
Oh,
he's like a tall man. That's why I said I was from the future.
What if he changed that too?
But Jerry
appreciate
said
that,
he didn't
though.
know if you were for sure from the future. So
Well,
Yeah,
he's
if he
not
tried
getting-
to-
he's definitely a grown up because Rob tackled him.
okay.
Well,
That was in a
he
different.
wasn't
That was in a
that
different
strong.
multiverse, guys.
Well, it smells
Nothing
like
is
cherry, too,
guaranteed
so
here.
You're good then.
He had facial hair.
Okay. Well, So where is this? Was it just this empty space
Yeah,
here?
this is the woods over here.
Yep.
My friends, would you like to, I don't know, scout out the woods, enter the woods? And if you do so, are you going for speed or stealth?
Shannon would like to use her 2 banked investigation dice to scout out from a distance safely the area.
Sure.
Thank God you gave us Shannon. 'Cause Mitch just runs in.
So Shannon, are you going ahead by yourself?
She's like, hang on, and she kind of goes to like a side where one of the tree, like one of the forward trees are, and just kind of like scans back and forth.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Roll me a stealth because I know you're being stealthy since you don't have a Mitch with you.
Yes, that it's so good. 2 successes.
Couple things happen as you kind of creep in and peek into this area. It's with shrubs and kind of overgrowth. You can see that the middle area does have a clearing to it. There's trash and debris around, cement dust, and a few like traffic cones, just like bags of fast food and things like that. Snow hasn't touched this area. You're not sure. You're probably the enough trees have kept it clear.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look in, you see a tall, regal fellow sitting on a stool in the middle of this vacant lot. He is dressed in an almost Shakespearean garb, puffy sleeves, kind of a silk-tied shirt on. In front of him is a stump with a chessboard. Well, come on then. I don't have all night. This is already eating into my mutton time. And he looks right at you.
Oh shit. Hey guys, she kind of, there's a dude, British dude, I think, I'm not sure, with a chess board. Feel like this is a trap, but as per usual me fashion, here I go, I guess.
Are you good at chess?
I guess we'll find out.
Are you all entering the area? Are you?
Shannon
is this a
we
screaming
gotta-
match? And
we have to
the
go.
battle?
She doesn't know how to play chess. I can't. And Mitch starts hauling after her.
Is it a vampire who plays the chess? I'm confused.
When you all get into the area, if you get into the area, anybody that is a book fan or a movie fan may roll me and investigate. If your character doesn't really do that, then don't, please.
I'll give you a movie fan.
We're really good at rolling now.
Zeros.
Suddenly.
Yeah, zeros all the way.
Jeez.
2 successes for movie fans.
It takes you a second, Mitch, as you walk in and you see this dapper, regal fellow. He's handsome. He's got kind of high cheekbones, big shock of dark hair. Again, tall, a little thin. And it takes you a moment and you realize that this guy is the spitting image of the actor Chris Sarandon. And he is dressed identically to Prince Humperdinck of Florin. Look at you. You don't seem like much. A bunch of unripened dullards by the look. Very well. Pick your players and pick your pieces.
Okay, hold on. First and foremost, never start a game without knowing the rules. So what is this? What is happening here?
Oh, you know what's going on, don't you?
Enlighten me.
One of you will play me, and the rest will be your pieces. You really are daft, aren't you?
Totally.
Okay, is anyone good at chess?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the Heather, you look like a super smart person.
He beats me all the time.
Great. I will be one of the pieces.
Oh, but I can be a piece too.
I'm not gonna be good.
You
Really
can tell
good at
he's listening
smashing
to you
things.
all.
Heather?
I'm almost tempted to let you have 2 players against me to make it challenging. I mean, let's see how dense you are. Convince me that you can have 2 of your feeble brains against my superior intellect, and I will allow it. The rules are simple. Defeat me, and you will find what you seek, the ability to stop the and you see him check an index card. Transceiver. Lose and you die. Agreed?
Well, what do we get if you lose?
You get the transceiver.
That's not enough. Death and transceiver. I mean, that's not an equal. Like, there's got to be something else there.
What are you looking for?
Hmm,
You want a
that's really
side wager with me?
That's a really, really good offer, actually.
What do you side wagering?
I feel like we should side wager. Oh gosh, there's so many options. I don't want to be selfish here, guys, but
Does this guy have like a powdered wig?
No. It's jet black, dark hair, just like Prince Humperdinck in
It's Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Princess Bride.
Oh,
Prince
It's
Humperdinck.
it's the main bad guy in Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I mean, we must hurry. I have to get this done. It's mutton time. I'm swamped.
If we win, we not only get the transceiver, but you have to help us.
Why would I do that?
It's part of the side wager.
Because we won, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
then,
sorry. You don't.
What
think
in
you can
addition
beat
do
us?
I get if I win? You'll be dead. I don't get a side wager.
Yeah, because we'll be dead.
We
It's kind of like you kind of use the
run.
trump card there, like at the maximum. Unless you want
Well,
to
you have
bring
to
the
give me
main
something
wager
before
down.
you die. Then
Okay,
Waste
I'll give you
some
this.
time.
And she brings up her father's. This is very important to me and very valuable.
really, how
Yes. Well, it includes the name of the best hero in the entire world.
valuable? I didn't realize my name was on metal, but I will take it, I suppose.
Okay.
All right, side wager it is.
Perfect.
And he looks pressed at you. So what would it be? One of you against me or two of you against me? I don't care, but you must convince me if you wish to take me on as a pair. My friends, you are given the option to roll charm. If one of you would like to do so against Prince Humperdinck, you may have two players versus him.
Oh God. Charm is not my strong suit. Just as a out of
Mine
Anybody
character.
can roll it,
No-
but you must RP it
Yeah,
how you
of course.
convince Prince Humperdinck.
Mitch has already in his head decided that it's Heather because she made a noise when he said, "Are you good at this game?" So he is like standing beside her and like whispering in her ear, "Okay, so do you know how to play chess? Because like I've played like one time and it was okay, but like you did say you were into like books and stuff. Was one of those books chess wizardry?"
I've played chess. But never like this for death. I can play. If anybody can help though, that would be great because then maybe we can put our heads together for better moves.
I can help, but you always beat me though. I don't know how much help I'd be. I'll help if you want me to though.
How do we convince him? What does he want? How do we convince him that we should have help?
I mean, he thinks he's better than us. Let's let him just keep believing that.
Rob, I will allow you to push that. Use your pride. If you're trying to convince Humperdinck to have two players,
Yeah,
two
I'm
brains versus his.
Yeah, I'm gonna push it.
She is a world-renowned chess player. Actually, she just likes to be very humble about it. So, how would you feel if you beat her and somebody else? You'd be like, I beat two of the best chess players in the entire world right before the end of it.
I honestly don't care, but sure.
I don't know.
Convince me. Why should I?
I mean, because it's like bragging rights, and clearly you are so superior than the rest of us. Just need
I
more
like that.
reasons to be better than everybody else.
Do you think they would put that on metal, hanging around everybody's neck?
I would, if I weren't dead, I would totally put it on metal. Maybe a whole plaque, like a statue in this entire area, the field.
Would a lot of people read it?
If they were dead, maybe a ghost would read it. Can you imagine all of the undead gathering here all the time just to see this beautiful statue and plaque?
I mean, it sounds creepy, but if they're reading it, fine. All press is good press. Fine. Pick your two champions. Rob, take the upset condition as you tried to get yourself kind of pumped up to ask Humperdinck, but Shannon swooped in.
Yeah, they're upset, angry, scared, exhausted, injured, broken.
Scared. Just take scared. We'll be
Tempo.
my friends. Who are your pieces and who are your players? And at that question, as Humperdinck asks it and hangs in the air that has no snow, we travel up beyond the tree line that does have snow, over just the short few blocks to the Butts residence. And once we get there, we zoom back in through the window into the room that contains a cold and gray Dr. Butts, George's mom. George, the door that you never knew behind your dad's desk is open. When you look inside it, you see that there's light coming from it. You see that there are chairs arrayed, just simple folding chairs. 4 of them are your mom in various stages of her life, up through what you can only assume would be her 80s or 90s. And in the other chairs are you, from a child all the way up until your 40s. These are the past versions of George Butts. So no one would be aware that you weren't aging. You would go to sleep one night. You would be downloaded into the new body. And you would awake, older, stronger, but none the wiser. Also in this room are 2 tanks, very similar to the back to tanks that Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker floated in Empire Strikes Back. One of them is empty. And one of them holds a 15-year-old you in a wetsuit. It's very still. Bubbles kind of coalesce around the chin and go up past the ear. And a computer is on with writing on the screen. What do all of you do? George has been gone a hot minute.
I think Jerry's like out trying to direct the building of this slide, but every time he's like, "No, put this here," Dr. Arkerville probably comes over and says, "No, do it this way," and then Jerry will find a new direction to mess up for everybody.
About 30 seconds into that, Dr. Arkerville would look at you, Jerry, after everything's kind of placed and you see him kind of like, moving the frame into position. He would look at you and say, "Is there any way to defend this? Once we get it set up, if they come for us, we're not going to be able to move till we get your buddy."
We need weapons. And she looks towards the house. Where's George?
He's probably like looking at his stuff in his room. It's been a while since he got to touch his stuff. He likes stuff.
Should one of us go check? See if he's okay? We should be sticking together. That's what Heather always says, and she knows a lot.
We almost never stick together. Everything works out for us. But sure. Yeah.
Ricky picks up some garden furniture table and just looks at Jerry and goes, "You know him the best." And he walks and jams it into the corner of the yard, climbs onto that so he can look over the fence, and just starts keeping a lookout.
Very good, my friend. And as you take your first sweep of being lookout, roll me an investigate with a +2, because Bubo is also flying high in the sky, checking to see if anybody is approaching the house.
That didn't give me an option for a +2. What is it? How do you do the 2 dice again, Mike? Where it's actually rolls the 6s?
You can use the little
/R
drop-down
space
menu.
2d6.
Yeah, you can use the menu on the side too if you need to.
There you go. 1 success, Craig.
Okay, so yeah, you can see that as of right now, nothing is coming. However, Bubo circles and comes down to you, and in the quietest that the clockwork owl can be, it begins to talk to you in whirls and clicks. You would know this to mean something's coming.
Ricky jumps down from the table, looks to the others, and just waves, says, something's on its way. You might want to get your friend. If he's a robot and can fight, something's on its way. And he runs back to the table and peers just over the top of the fence, just to keep an eye out and keep his profile as low as possible. Readies the bow and waits.
So as you ready the bow of Loxley, and as Bubo takes to flight again to get a better view, you can see a flash of the Clockwork Owl's metallic wings. You look down the street, down past the other residential homes that seem untouched by the damage. There's abandoned cars here and things like that, but none of the fires have spread this far north in Garrett. But as you're looking, and with your investigate success, several blocks away, you see your first set of eyes glowing beneath a car. They're not looking at you, but they are looking. And then you see another set and another. Is anyone going after George? Ricky, go ahead, Ricky.
Ricky just looks to Scarlet and just indicates that it's the small things, and just keeps watching.
I think Jerry will head towards the house, dropping one last, like, you put that over there, probably the wrong place, as he heads in to find George. And with no sense of like decorum or anything, he'll just like shout when he gets in the door. But
George, have you entered into the secret room, or are you still in the...
No, I've entered in. Before heading to the screen, I imagine the still visage of my mom is there, and so I'm kind of like looking at her and say, I don't even know if she knows. And I go to the computer screen. What does it say?
When you see your mom, you look down and her skin is completely gray. It's colorless. And you see there's a stain and splash of green all over her mouth and in her teeth, and her hands seem to have dirt beneath the nails, and dried blades of grass are kind of collected there. You walk forward, and at the top of the screen, it says, "This will activate in the event I don't check in once a month. You will always be my wife, and you will always be my son, no matter your choice." And beneath that, it says, "The Pinocchio Protocols." And there is a prompt that says, "Flesh and blood," and a yes or a no. Jerry walks in.
But
he's not going to answer you. He's just sitting there looking at the cursor, the flashing yes or no, trying to figure out what he's going to decide.
You would see the lights from this room, the secret door that is opened behind the desk. It's easy enough to find George.
Oh, this is weird. Hey, are you alive?
Yeah, Jerry Bear, I'm alive.
I hate you so much.
Do you have a quarter on you?
Yes.
Go ahead and flip that for me, man.
Well, one is heads.
So as he hears the coin flick into the air, George will type no and hit enter.
Jerry, you see George fall to the ground as your coin hits the ground too, and lands on heads.
Oh, what did I do?
Scarlet, what are you doing to aid Dr. Arkeville as he's finishing up? You can do the following. You can aid Dr. Arkeville with a tinker roll, or you may, at this point, let me get over here, make sure I'm telling you exactly what you can do. You may aid Dr. Arkeville with a tinker roll, or you can roll a force to fortify the house.
Yeah, she's gonna look to the doctors like, okay, dude, we're running out of time.
I'm going as fast as I
gremlin
can.
guys are coming. Yeah, and she's gonna look around. Is there like a shovel or any kind of weapon around?
I tell you what, roll me a force. The higher your roll, the better the weapon you find.
Okay, let's go. Yes, 3 successes. Oh God.
Okay, as you look around, you're not sure exactly why there is a bat laying in the yard here, but there are several elements or garden implements that are around here as well. It doesn't take you long to realize there was a stand of some kind that probably held garden tools, which are strewn everywhere. That was knocked over, and there seemed to have been an old Louisville slugger in there.
This is the 80s. Do metal bats exist?
Would you like it to be a metal bat? This is
I
the
would love
Butts
to.
residence.
It is. That's
so-
what I'm thinking, because he always wants to do all the activities, right? So he always got like the best toys.
Right. So yeah,
for
it's
his
one of those.
baseball phase, he would have got the best bat.
You find a perfectly weighted and almost brand new aluminum bat.
Yeah, so she'll pick it up, like, this will do nice, and she like flicks it so it like spins, and she catches it, and then she puts it over her shoulder, like.
As you do that and put it over your shoulder, Arkeville looks at you for a second and his eyes get wide. Where'd you get those? You feel
The bat?
something on your hips.
She looks down.
You are wearing a 2-gun rig.
And she grins. She's like, thanks, Heather. And she's gonna run and go fortify the house.
You are able to do so as the guns of the gunslinger are back in your possession, forged from the very metal of melted down Excalibur.
Ooh. Actually, she's not gonna leave the backyard. She's gonna try to fortify the house so like at least they can't get into the backyard through the house.
Okay, you can start locking the doors, putting stuff in place.
She doesn't want to
your...
abandon Arkeville.
Gotcha. Your force roll is basically going to give you 3 successes if there is a conflict to come. Jerry, what do you do as George drops to the ground?
He'll probably rush over to him and like, I don't know. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's seen the other people try to do like first aid type things, so he'll probably check for a pulse.
You don't find one.
I don't know if he had one before. George! I'll probably shake him and yell right in his face.
Jerry, roll me an empathize +2.
I got it 1 success.
You're sitting there working on George, trying to get him, checking for a pulse, trying to get him moving in some way. But as he fell, it's almost like he's frozen in a fetal position. So when you move him, he moves in one position. All of his joints are frozen and locked. You're able to move him. He's heavy as shit, but you're able to move him. And as you're moving him, you get a flash of a memory of Ben. I'm saving myself, man. I'm saving that. She goes to another school. You wouldn't know her. And you remember Scarlet saying Ben. And you've never heard of Scarlet.
Shit. Jerry's gonna look at all this like equipment that's way beyond him and put George back down, and if you're dead, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I don't know, head back outside.
As you would do so, you would hear a couple things simultaneously. One, Ricky, Dr. Arkaville would fire up the slide behind. You would hear that hum, and that light would spill into the backyard. And as soon as that light goes off, you hear, and you see all the eyes turn and look directly at the house. All pretense of stealth or subterfuge gone, you hear from the clouds above, and Bubo shoots back down into the backyard. Ricky, you see no fewer than 300 of these creatures running towards the house. My friends, Dr. Arkaville is trying to find Ben. There is an army coming at you. Jerry, you get to the top of the stairs by the door just as Scarlet kind of throws something against the door, or locks it, or fortifies it in the way that she would. The two of you have a brief moment as you hear Dr. Arkaville, this chaos starting very close to you. And Arkaville says, I think I have him. I'm going to need help. As we cut through the air and go back a short distance to a vacant lot, we spiral down as Prince Humperdinck sits beside a chessboard and says, so who's going to play and who are your pieces?
Heather sits down in the chair opposite Humperdinck.
And who is your other brain?
Gonna be me.
Oh boy. Well, sit down. That makes points over at Mitch, over at Shannon, over at Rob, and Van Halen. You're the pieces. And he snaps his fingers. It's at this time that you realize that the debris that was filtered around this vacant lot, the cement dust, was actually part of a grid that every other square was filled in with cement dust, that the bags actually represented corners that were staked into the ground, and the traffic cones bear the indications of other chess pieces, knights, rooks. And with another snap, Humperdinck says, well, you have your pieces, now I must have mine. And with a snap, 4 characters appear. One of them is wearing all black with a mask across his eyes. Another seems to have long hair, a thick mustache, a scabbard with no sword at his side. He is standing in a spot. A princess is the only way that you can describe the girl that stands there, is in a spot reserved for the queen. And a giant of a man stands at a spot reserved for a rook. The giant turns and says, Inigo, what are we doing? And they all turn and look at one another. And they look at you as you are now a part of the chessboard. My friends, the game has begun. You may roll for me either, whenever we get into this, you may roll for me comprehend or investigation. You can use your pride. You can use Keystone players. You can use your banked flashback successes if you have them. Rolls can be pushed for conditions. Luck can be used for re-rolls, saving any successes that you have. Before each round, I will tell you what you need to hit. If you are successful, you may move one of your pieces, but you may not move the same piece until all of your pieces have moved once. Make sense? So with that, my friends, JD, Heather, as you sit down across from Prince Humperdinck, I need you to roll me comprehend or investigation. My friends, go to your Spotify playlist, please. And if you could, play a little Twist of Fate, which is track number 21.
Starting off great.
My friends, you can push. You can use luck. You can use your pride. I will let you know you don't get a refresh anymore.
Well, user pride. I've got a good mind and I can use it to overcome challenges like the heroes in the books do.
That'll give you a success. You need 2 more. Can you generate them?
I can push. Yes, we can.
Take frightened as you move the position. And who do you move? Of your friends, Van Halen, Shannon, Mitch, and Rob, which piece do you move? Knowing that you can't move that piece again until the others have moved.
We'll move Mitch.
All right, Mitch. As you move forward, I need you to do the following. You need to make me a move roll, and you may do so at a +1.
1 success, Greg.
As you step forward, Mitch, the Spaniard steps forward, and you meet in the middle, and Spaniard takes Mitch. Mitch begins to sink into the board. You see him sink his shins to his knees. My friends, it's your next move. I need an investigate or a comprehend by JD and Heather. You need 2 successes for this one. My friends, who do you move as you have 3 successes instead of the necessary 2? You may move Shannon, you may move Rob, or you may move Van Halen.
Greg, can we do any kind of investigate or anything to see if we can get a clue from the board what a better strategy would be here?
Absolutely. You may roll me a comprehend or investigate as you go ahead. I'll tell you what, I will let you, you currently have 1 extra 1.
Okay. Can I give her a +1 for my leadership?
You may absolutely do so. You may roll and investigate with a +1 if you'd like.
So wait, I already have 1 success.
That's for the game. That's for the game. Yeah. If you want to just go ahead and roll a separate investigate for just kind of looking at the board now and trying to figure something out.
That was without the bonus dice.
Humperdinck is cheating.
Oh.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Well, this is going to be over sooner than I thought.
But what rules are you playing by?
The only rules that count. The rich win.
It's not
Don't
fair.
you know those rules, Heather?
No, I don't know those rules. We should play by the same rules.
And what will you give me to play by poverty rules?
No, I'm not going to give you anything to play by poverty rules. We're going to play the same rules. We sat down here to play a fair game.
Are you trying to shame Prince Humperdinck?
Sure. Let's go for shame.
Now she can have that +1.
Okay, then you may roll a charm at +1. This is your ability to shame Prince Humperdinck.
All right. How do I add bonus dice in this character sheet? I don't really know how to do that.
I don't know.
You don't have an option. You just have to do it manually.
Got it. So there is no charm. No. Heather's a little bit too awkward to convince anyone of anything.
Sorry, I like my rules. I will
fair,
let you
though.
all know this. With that revelation, you must roll 1 higher than what I ask for to actually beat Humperdinck.
So when we rolled last, we just met, right? We need 1 more
Correct.
dice.
And he was able to cheat. But because you have identified what he's doing, you have also identified his tell. And so you can anticipate his cheating.
So if we push, I can push and get a.
You're already one over than in this
Mhm.
most recent one.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
should probably
Wait,
just
we're
move the
one over.
piece. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Just
now,
have to
right, so
pick who you'd
for
like to
this one.
move.
Mhm.
Yep.
Do you want to pick Heather, or you want me to? What was that?
You pick.
Van Halen.
Van Halen moves forward and goes right up to the large fellow. And he looks way down at Van Halen. Hello. And you see Van Halen grab him by the shirt and pull him, and he begins to sink into the sand. Even when he gets up to his knees, he still towers over Van Halen. But she has taken the giant. My friends, roll again. You need 2 successes for this one. No, I think I know your strategy.
That 2 successes or 3 successes that we.
you really need 3 because you
Mhm.
needed 2.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do something here.
Luck or pride or whatever you have left.
You weren't so scared of us. We could play by the same rules. But I guess fear drives all your motivations, doesn't it?
It's a new round. If you're trying to shame him, I'll take a charm. No, I'm perfectly fine with this.
I'll use my pride, if I can. It's like
Okay.
my knowledge of nerddom.
Who would you like to move then?
So we can't move Van Halen. We have to move Rob or Shannon, basically.
Robert Shannon, correct.
We'll go with Shannon.
Shannon, please roll me a move at a +2.
Okie dokie. Move at a +2. I'm gonna have to roll those separately. So give me 1 second. There's 2 and 2. 3 successes.
You roll forward under a will not your own, and you take a couple steps on the map until you are face to face with the man with the black mask on. And as you get toe to toe, he says, I really don't have any control over what I'm doing.
Same.
And how do you take the Dread Pirate Roberts off the board?
It's a really good question. I think I take his mask.
Do you put it on?
I sure do.
As Wesley begins to sink into the sand, he looks up and says, looks dashing on you. And you hear a cough from the princess in the back. It does look good. I mean, it looks good, right? It looks great. As you put on the mask of the Dread Pirate Roberts, please put that as an item in your inventory.
Great. Will do.
My friends.
Greg, I have
Go
a
ahead.
question for you.
Mhm.
Can we the pieces hear what's happening?
Absolutely.
I'd like to attempt to roll for bullshit, Greg, if I could, as Mitch is sinking into the quicksand.
Yeah, you're up to
here.
about your chest now.
Yeah. If said Spaniard is still standing over me, I would like to, since Prince Harperdink is cheating and my pride is Garrett is rotten and I will fix it, or my drive rather. Oh no, my pride is only I can fix this. I will. I'd like to employ that against him and sort of like, please, the man controlling you, the man who killed your father works for him. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. And try to convince him to turn on his player.
And you're using your pride to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks down at you. I know he is the bad one. What do I do?
You join our side. We're the good guys.
Well, I could be a good guy as well.
I don't see why not. It seems better.
Well, normally I get paid for these things, but are you commanding me?
I think they will. And he like points back to Heather and JD. I think you just have to turn around, and you'll be on our side.
You just turn around, just to do a spin.
I guess so. If you're facing this way, that means you're attacking us. If you're facing that way, that means you're attacking him.
Well, the rest of these are my friends as well, and do not wish to attack them.
Well, then help us turn them. We can all be good guys.
And
Great.
He turns around, and you begin to rise out of the sand. Hey,
tiny Mitch.
What's going on? This is cheating. He points like a pinky and an index finger at Heather and JD. You are cheating.
No, we're playing the same game.
You're playing
Rich
by
always
no.
win.
That's my line. All right. So be it. To the rich. As we cut back over across town, everybody, the Butts house is under siege. George, take 5. Jerry, I need a force roll from you. I need a force roll from everybody, because this is nothing stealthy. This is nothing. If you can come up with something else for another roll, please let me know. But you are in the middle of what is essentially a riot. As these creatures are trying to burst into the house, you hear them breaking glass as they go into the second floor. They are not real sure how to get to the back other than through the house for some odd reason. But they are going around and coming through the house. And then there's so many of them, they start to kind of log jam right by the front door in the garage. And you see them spilling out, and a couple of them turn Ricky and look. What do you all do? After you roll your forces, I'll tell you if you do what you want. My friends, please go to your Spotify playlist. Please go down to number 4 by one Prince. Let's go crazy.
That is one success from Ricky.
Okay. You have the Bow of Locksley. Roll with a +2. You have the Guns of the Gunslinger. Scarlet, please roll with a +2 as you turn to defend Arkaville.
It's 2 for Ricky then.
2 for Ricky. 2 for Jerry. You may push. You may use luck.
So I gotta roll my
pride.
2d6 for my +2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to push it.
In this life, you're on your own.
Yeah, so I'm pushing it, just a straight re-roll, right?
Mm-hmm. And you get the +2 again.
Okay. Come on. No. 1 success. Oh, sorry, no, none.
Okay. So as you turn and begin to fire the shots off, they go wide, but you are back. Scarlet, you're the last line of defense as Jerry and Ricky move forward. Ricky, Jerry, as these creatures start to pour over into the backyard, what do the two of you do? What are your successes as you repel this first wave? A few of them drop into the yard, but the majority of them are repelled. What do you do?
I imagine we've probably set up it seems like everybody has ranged ability. So we've probably set up some sort of firing line, maybe a picnic table tipped over and or a patio table tipped over that we can hide behind. And Jerry's like trying to be nonchalant about it, but yeah, he's blasting lightning at these things, treating them like bugs.
and they are popping. The lightning will hit one of them for a second, and they'll just blow up like a piece of green bubble gum, and then as crap flies everywhere in the yard, as Jerry turns like the Green Lantern and just blasts a swath. Ricky, as you stand beside this kid blasting electricity out of his hands, what do you do?
Ricky's got a smile on his face seeing Jerry lightning exploding these creatures, because Ricky doesn't like them. He's sitting behind the sort of the same barricade with Jerry and just firing arrows through every gap in the windows to anything that's moving within. Looks across to Jerry and just says, "Good warriors let others come to them. Don't go to the others. Stay here. That's how we'll defeat them." As he quotes, it sounds like he's quoting something that he's read before. And he just keeps firing arrows into things.
And you do so as these arrows are flying unerringly. And Jerry, you can see this kid is firing these arrows in just, openings that would be the size of a sandwich, and taking two of these things out by the ears, pinning them to the fence. You see this owl swooping down and picking one up and carrying it in the air about 50 feet and dropping it. You see that this is a tandem attack that is going on between the two of them. Scarlet, roll me investigate. You don't hear it when it happens, but you hear coming from inside the slide, "Help." And when you turn and look, you see as if from 50 feet away down a tunnel inside of this frame, as Dr. Arcteville works the control panel, you see the boy that you know as B, and he is running as hard as he can towards this opening. And he seems to be getting farther back as he's going through this hallway, but he's like he's on a treadmill, and he's just not getting any closer, and he's losing ground. And he sees you, and you see him reaching out. "No, don't leave me."
Yeah, she's gonna turn and run towards the slide.
Are you going in?
Yeah. Or she's gonna like jump and like reach out with her hand.
Are you like trying to stay on the outside, like hanging onto the frame? Are you grabbing like a garden hose and jumping in? Are you?
Oh no. Because Scarlet doesn't know what the frack this thing is, right? So
Not really, no.
no. Because my first instinct is literally she freaking just dives right through. No pun intended.
It's funny you say, I was going to say, it's funny you say that. So you dive through and you hear Arcteville yell out, "You don't!" And you are able to be kind of semi-caught as Arcteville reaches for you, but he can't hold on as you slip inside. Meanwhile, back over at the vacant lot, we are in the middle of a round that requires a roll, as we are now playing the version of this chess match to the rich. I need a comprehend and an investigate from JD and Heather, and from Shannon and Rob, who has not yet moved. I would like Rob to roll me a charm. Rob, you see one of the other pieces turn and join your side. Rob, you are closest to, let's see, you'd be closest to the princess, who is looking at you. "What is going on?" she says to you.
Comically large game of chess for the fate of the world. Wednesday.
No, he was on my side. She seems confused as she points to the guy with the mustache that's now standing and watching as Mitch rises behind him in the sand.
Well, he probably realized that you guys are on the side of evil.
Well, that's not right. She seems confused.
No,
We're
no,
not
no, no,
supposed to
no,
be
no, no, no. It's totally fine. There's time to switch. I mean, look, he did.
Should I?
Yeah.
Are you a knight?
Of sorts.
You seem like you're accustomed to wearing metal.
Yeah, I left my other suit of armor at the house.
Very well, sir. And you can tell that she's awaiting a name.
Rob.
Sir Rob? What should I do?
Let's fight fancy pants. Yeah.
Well, he's not on the board though.
I mean, we can think outside of the board, or you can let me win, and we'll be done with the game.
Give up?
Well, not give up. Respectfully concede. You can be a conscientious objector.
Roll me another charm at +2 because this is vintage Rob.
2.
Conscientious objector. I like it. I will object to this. I don't like it, and I won't do it. And
That's the spirit.
She turns around. Shannon, I need you to roll me a charm. As at this point, the giant is the only one that's still semi on the board. But he looks at you. What's going on?
It looks like we are all joining the same side. Yeah, we're all joining the same side. See, your friend there is turning around. Your friend there is turning around. I'll help this individual turn around, I suppose, if you so want. I'm keeping the mask though, just letting you know.
You have room for one more.
Definitely.
And Fezzik turns around. JD and Heather, you would see Prince Humperdinck. Chris, I was almost going Chris Sarandon's Prince Humperdinck. He looks down at the chessboard that has no pieces in between the two of you, looks over at the living chessboard that's beside him and says, well, this isn't right.
I think that's right.
Ha! Gotcha at your own game, pompous fuck.
Pompous fuck? That's brutal, correct, but brutal. Well, I guess you won fair and square. Here it is. And he lifts up the chessboard, and there is a small, what looks to be a radio inside the stump. He looks over at Mitch. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
You told me.
What was our deal?
I was supposed to delay you here with this farce, but it was supposed to last longer. Whatever you're doing,
and now you have
looks
to help
great.
us.
That's true. You do have to help us now. That was the side deal. What was I going to give you for delaying us?
There's a building in this place that I fancied.
Which
fire department. It has a golden pole in it. I liked quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Well, you technically you failed at what we agreed to, so you don't get that. But you did lose.
This
and
is to the rich. I mean, really, we never keep
well.
bets. But what? Go ahead.
Sure. Well, you don't have a golden pole, so you're not rich anymore. But you did make a side bet, so you have to help us. Also, did I happen to mention the last time we talked where I could be hanging out when not here?
Yes, you were still at the loop. That thing you called the loop. And I said, could you show me the loop? And you said, fuck no. And I said, that's rude. And you said, go play your game. And I said, fine.
That tracks.
That does.
That tracks.
That
Okay,
does.
cool.
That
Well,
sounds-
you're gonna
sounds
help
like-
us. You're gonna help us now.
Okay, well,
and,
here, I don't know what this is. And almost like he's holding a dog turd, he like lifts the box
What a
out
fucking description, Greg.
here.
Yeah, Mitch, you know what to do with this, right?
Mitch takes
You
it
have to-
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah. What am I looking at, Greg? Like a dog turd.
This is a loop issued transceiver. It is capable of
Oh.
interdimensional static, and it is currently on.
Mitch turns it off, and then takes the backpack and stuffs it in his Radio Shack backpack.
Okay.
What was that? Was that it?
It seems
Yeah.
anticlimactic, honestly.
Yeah.
As
She
the
grabs the walkie. Go ahead.
as the transceiver turns off, a burst of sunlight appears from somewhere. Certainly not the sky. It seems more ground level, like there is a door opening where it is sunny. Only this door is about the size of a drive-in theater. And as the sun sweeps over your area and to points north, we go back to the Butts residence. As the light beam goes by, though, Humperdinck says, "Ooh, maybe follow that, I don't know." And we go to the Butts residence where a battle is taking place for the very soul of this area. But when the sunlight hits these green little bastards, they start popping. Their skin bubbles, they liquefy as Jerry and Ricky are back to back, side to side, as they are swarming over them and still blasting away with electricity and endless arrows. Countless goo masses of fallen dead are around, but it was only a matter of time before the two heroes would have fallen. But the sun does the work of 100 Jerrys and 100 Rickies as it sweeps through the area, melting the army in front of them. As this happens and the silence kind of deafens the area, Arkaville is yelling, "She fell in! She fell in!" And for the first time, Ricky and Jerry, you realize Scarlet is not there, that the slide is open, and both Ben and Scarlet are running towards the door, almost like it's a relay race. My friends, what do you do? And by friends, I mean Jerry and Ricky, because you're the only ones that can do shit right now.
How do we get them out?
What does it mean?
Reach in and
We
pull
have
them
the
out.
two strong, dumb boys.
Arkaville is sitting there trying to keep the slide open. It's down. The veil's down completely. Interference is gone, but I'm losing him. You got to bring him in.
How?
Get him.
Do I go in? And he's
Jerry's
standing there ready
gonna-
to run in.
Jerry's gonna run to the side of the house, grab the garden hose on
Sure.
its spool, and give it a tug, and then run back over to Chris and hand it to him. Go!
He wraps it around his waist and then runs and jumps into the slide with his arms out to try and grab onto
Jesus
Scarlet and
Christ.
Barry.
I want a force roll from both Ricky and a force roll from Scarlet as the two of you kind of meet into this column. You would know that the hose goes full length before it catches. Are you holding on to the one end, Jerry? I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's getting
Okay.
ready to tug him out.
Okay.
One success from Ricky.
Sorry, am I rolling here? I forgot I'm actually playing and not watching.
Yeah, you are
Okay.
playing. Roll me a force, please.
One success, thank God.
With that, you're able to crash together as Ricky, you kind of envelop her. Ben starts to fall away, almost like he's stumbling now, and you hear him yell out,
Nope.
"Scarlet," as he reaches for you.
I reach for him.
Yep, roll me another force. Or I will take a condition for an automatic success.
Foregoing the condition, can I use my ravens and bumblebees
Oh, hell yeah. And you get to tell me how you grab hold of Ben McKenzie.
Do I need to use more than one?
Just one.
All right. Then as Ricky kind of grabs onto her, she looks back. She's like, Ben! And she's going to kind of shift herself. So she's facing the other way. And she's going to look back and Ricky's like, don't let go. And she's going to force herself off of him. So she can he's grabbing onto her feet. And she just shoots out with her hand and then claps arms with him.
You grab hold, almost like a soldier's clasp with Ben McKenzie, and he's dangling now as if he's being held not, along a hallway, but over a great abyss. As Ricky, you have hold of Scarlett's feet, and Scarlett has a hold of Ben McKenzie, and Ben looks up at you with calm eyes, eyes that have seen horrors. And even in the face of this, he looks directly at you, Scarlett, and says, it's you.
Got you, Maverick. Let's go.
Jerry, roll me a force as all of a sudden a fuck ton of weight hits you.
I got 2 successes.
What's a fuck ton of weight to Jerry? As Jerry grabs hold of the hose and both of your feet go to either side of the frame, as you're standing vertically, almost like you're repelling into the slide itself. Arkaville's sitting there and the mechanics of the slide are beginning to spark as the control panel is going up in smoke. I can't hold it much longer. And you pull the first length up, Jerry, as they're getting closer. And it seems like despite your pulling, they're getting closer regardless. And as you have them about 5 feet away, you can see as Ricky's turned around, you can see Ricky's back and Scarlett stretched out, and Ben, who's now looking directly at you, Jerry, and you can see him nod and smile as he knows what you're doing. You see a hand reach from behind Ben and wrap around his ankle. And you're looking at George Butts as he holds on to your friend. Where are you going there, Benji? Our George. You're standing behind Jerry. At the bottom of your screen, it says 110%. My friend, you have made your decision. Before you see your antithesis, through a mirror darkly, as a version of you that made poor decisions, is trying to pull at least one of your friends away from you forever. Jerry is at work. Ricky is holding to Scarlett, Scarlett to Ben. You are free to act, my friend. What the fuck do you do?
110%, huh? I think I T1000 run and I pencil dive over top of them with like a knife hand out front into my antithesis, my nemesis.
Do you try to grab hold of Ben's foot, completing the chain as you do so? Because you are free falling at this point into whatever the hell is on the other side of the slide.
Yeah. So if hitting him doesn't stop me enough, then yeah, my reaction would be to.
My friend, roll me a force at +4.
+4.
And +1 for my leadership.
+5.
Okay. Two successes.
You're able to shoot, bypass right over Jerry's shoulder. And Arkaville says, you're shot. No, go back. Why are they all going in? As you shoot over top of Ricky, over top of Scarlett, over top of Ben. You wink at Ben as you go by and jam the knife hand into the face of George Butts. And as he who walks between the rows loses his first soldier, the George that isn't explodes into sparks and falls backwards. The head split open like the T-1000 you mentioned, only It is not reforming. It lets go of Ben's ankle and your hand takes its place. Jerry, this is super fucking heavy. But at this moment, Shannon, Rob, JD, Heather, you all run into the back room, the backyard of the Butts residence, driven here and followed here by the sunlight blast that guided you. Prince Humperdinck is here as well, but he is not helping. The large giant Fezzik, though, is, as they all move to the rope and begin to pull. My friends, those of you that are player characters here, I would like you to roll me force rolls. All of you get a +2 as you are working as a team of Autobots and Keystones. JD, Heather, this includes you all.
Greg, I'm assuming that doesn't include those of us at the end of a rope.
It does not. If you're dangling, you're not helping.
So 3 for Rob.
Even a success from Heather, even a success from JD. Everybody contributes as you pull free. Well, basically, Jerry is helped away from the frame. You pull out Ricky as Ricky comes out, like a reverse poltergeist moment, pulling Scarlet as she comes out. And finally, you see Ben come out all the way. And at the very end of the chain, and if I had that on the Spotify playlist, I'd start playing Fleetwood Mac. Everybody, Greg's doing an audible. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second, because I want it on there. I want to listen to it. Fuck it. I can do what I want. Everybody just hold on. There's nothing more interesting to watch.
Late night Greg, everybody.
Yes, it is. Everybody go down to the last track on your Spotify playlist. Start playing The Chain by Fleetwood Mac, please. As everybody is pulled out one at a time, the last one being George, who has just vanquished his Through the Mirror Darkly version. You all pull out, and when you crash to the other side, Ben immediately rushes into Jerry and throws his arms around him. I knew you wouldn't leave me.
I'm so sorry.
He turns and looks at Scarlet. Thanks.
Yeah, she's like lying on like the grass or the dirt. I got you. Are you okay?
Yeah. You can tell he isn't. I didn't think it would be you.
Well, you helped me out before, so I gotta. And she kind of blushes a little bit. It's like, I gotta help. I gotta repay the favor.
Yeah. And he puts his hand out to shake your hand.
She goes to, she clasps his hands, but because she's down on the ground, she uses his hand to help herself up. And then she's gonna give him a hug. I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks. Thanks. And he hugs you back.
And she goes to say something, but she kind of doesn't. And okay, wait. When this is all over, and like she kind of points to the sky, and like everything's not so shitty. Do you want to go get milkshakes with me?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. And then she will shake his hand again.
It's like an elbow in Jerry's ribs.
Hey,
Ben,
what school does she go to?
I don't know. Not ours.
Ben backs up to Jerry and looks up. That's why I waited, man.
Her?
Yeah.
Nice.
So as we look into the backyard of the Buttses, and the group is standing there looking at one another, Ben looks up at Jerry, looks at everybody, all the Autobots, the Keystones, all of them. Let's finish this once and for all. Van Halen moves forward. The sunlight is still beaming, creating a sunset at the end of George's Street. She looks at all of the Autobots, her first friends in Garrett. Go. Get to the loop. End this. We will protect Garrett. The army of happily ever afters here. And she turns and she's backlit against the sunlight. Go. And she turns to the Keystones. It's time. And she looks at Heather. Call to them.
Heather closes her eyes and there is silence for a moment. And then she says, Heather, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember me, but I hope you come. Aslan? Lion? Falcor? Are you there?
There are dots inside of the sunrise. Everybody go to your Spotify playlist, track number 22, Loved by the Sun. You hear very distantly, heat her, heat her. And in the front of a field of silhouettes that stretches from one sunrise to the next, an old lion, gray across his muzzle and face, charges forward, fulfilling a promise he made an age ago. And behind him, the vast gathering of heroes race in the first and last charge of the army of happily ever after. But that's where we end our session. Join us Saturday for the thrilling conclusion of the Keystone Saga and Atari Twilight Twist of Fate, Episode 7, Never Say Never. And then join us as we begin the final tale of the Autobots and their epic campaign. See you next Wednesday for the first of our two-part series finale, Atari Twilight Rollout, Episode 11, Until the Day.
Hell freaking yes. We're gonna rapid fire this. You guys just say where you're from, what you're doing. We'll do the whole thing so we can get the hell out of here and do this massive after show, which I can't imagine is gonna be a short one. So I'm just gonna look over at the stream and quickly go down the line. So Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
I'm Melissa. You can find me here being a fan of all these people.
Perfect. Bitters, same questions.
Yes, and.
Nailed it. Meta.
Yes, and.
Oh man, Mike.
Yes, and.
Chris.
Yes, and.
Mitchell.
Sorry, I have to be the only one to plug stuff. I stream on Twitch as told by Dice. So if you want to watch a show that I'm DMing, it's called The Long Winter. It's set in Icewind Dale. It's a 5th editions game. So if you want to check it out, it's on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely go check that out. Go check out the whole channel. They also have a YouTube. Do all those things. G, what about you?
Yeah, you know who I am, where to find me. Come join us on Saturday for the finale for the Twist of Fate for the Keystones, and also for the next episode of The Rise.
Frags. Take your time. Still muted. That's fine. Just, you know.
Yeah, I'm Kindle. And I'm here.
And me too. And last but not least, Greg, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
My name's Greg. Like Melissa said, I'm a fan of everybody here, and I thank them all for doing this. Thanks to Noam running production backstage. Thanks to Mike for having a great community and channel. Thanks to everybody, both on YouTube and live, that watched Atari Twilight. A few more episodes left, but boy, oh boy, I'll never forget this one. Thanks, friends.
Hell freaking yes. Guys, half of this cast is people that started in the community and raised their voice in the Discord and got a sideshow out of it, and then now this epic crossover and their own campaign or their own season in this campaign. So please come over, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And if you need someone to help run your stream production, go check out Nomadic over on Twitter. He is running the production for this episode because it was way too much for me to do and play at the same time. Go check him out. Hire him to do freelance shit. But that's it. We're going to get out of here. We're going to do our after show for this episode. And if you want access to all of our other after shows, it's on the Patreon down below. Join us at the $5 tier. And we'll see you over there. So that's it from all of us. We will see you next week for the start of the finale of this entire campaign. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.